Jones peered over the chipped stone, its surface cold and rough and solid beneath his hot, burning skin. It was an attachment of earth, an anchor securing him to the gyrating face of no man's land, tying him to the planet. Soldiers were advancing over the mud. Jones, along with the other men of the battalion, poked rifles over the stone and, upon the order of Johnson, sent round after round into the advancing Hun. Men were cut down, their limbs thrown up, faces pale oval discs, their screams heard even over the sound of roaring guns and artillery. The air was full of smoke, black and curling. Jones rubbed his eyes, leaving an oil-black smear across one cheekbone, then reloaded his rifle beside his comrades, and waited for a signal. A tank could be heard in the distance, but it faded through smoke. Johnson cracked a joke. "What you call a fat nurse with crabs?" The answer was vulgar, and some of the men laughed. Not Jones. He was peering out over no man's land with wide eyes. He hadn't seen it. A flash. A dark, oiled body. A wall rider. He watched, eyes narrowed. Somebody nudged him, passed along a canteen, and he took a swig, but his eyes did not leave the spot. More Germans, running, heads low, kit bouncing, headed out across the darkness. Johnson screamed the command, and the rifles thundered, and then Jones saw it again, dancing in the mud. A swirling black shadow stooped, bent low. He could see its face, although its body was clearly not human. The face was a deformed man's face, wearing a Hun helmet pulled low over creased forehead. But as Jones stared, unblinking, mouth half open, breath frozen, heart thundering in his ears so loud as to deafen the scream of Crumps, so he realized the face and the helm were one, twisted, merged, a joining of flesh and metal, just like in his dreams. But this was no dream. This was reality, the battlefield, the mud and smoke and death. And the creature danced and twirled before him, some twisted marionette or puppet, controlled by the strings of God or the devil. And it carried a rifle with iron bayonet gleaming dull and pitted, and eyes fastened on Jones, who wanted to cry out, wanted to turn to his friends back in the trench, wanted to shout, "Do you see it? Do you fucking see it?" But he could not pull his gaze away. And it was charging at him across the mud, coming at him now, slipping and sliding, claws raking the earth, dark body glistening with damp and mud and blood, and its grey eyes were fixed on Jones, who fumbled with his rifle, tried to load a fresh magazine, but his fingers were shaking, and he could see long, twisted yellow fangs sliding from beneath the helm face, and the creature was lifting its rifle with black, clawed hands, and a snarl of triumph marking its inhuman mask. The rifle thundered in its long, slick claws, smoke rising, and Jones wanted to duck, but he was frozen in this moment which had haunted him. A bullet nicked the collar of his heavy coat, and suddenly hands dragged him swiftly back down behind the wall. "What are you doing, you idiot?" panted one Tommy. He breathed deep. "It's coming!" he screamed. "Calm yourself, soldier," came Johnson's steady voice. Rifle shots echoed, and stone disintegrated in a spray of fine dust that settled over the waiting Tommies. The soldiers returned fire, and steeling himself, Jones slotted a slippery magazine into his SMLE, held the rifle before him as a ward, and peered over the wall, his protective charm. The dancing wall rider had gone. Damn! He touched his weary